Hello, my friends. I am Chaplain Don of Bible Truth Ministries of Ohio, and welcome once again to our upload. And we're going to call this one The Winding Down of Life. The book of Ecclesiastes, perhaps the most unusual book in the Bible. Solomon wrote this when he was an aged king. He had had a long life, where he did everything, tried everything, and this book's kind of melancholy, and at first glance, kind of almost has kind of a hopelessness to it. But that is only as Solomon looked at life on this earth and no more, and not being connected to God. This he describes in the last chapter, the aging process. I want to share this with you in Ecclesiastes 12, and we'll talk about a few things. He says here, "Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come and the years approach when you will say, I find no pleasure in them." I am a geriatric chaplain, and I hear this so often. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark, and the clouds return after the rain. What's Solomon talking about? He's talking that the vitality gets less and the bodily infirmities come. When the keepers of the house tremble, it's talking about the arms and hands, my friends, and the strong men stoop. That's talking about the legs. When the grinders ceased before they were few, he was looking at city life outside of his palace, watching people, watching the daily activities, people grind at the grinding mills and different things like that. When the grinders cease because they are few, that is referring to teeth. And those looking through the windows grow dim. That's talking about aging eyes, my friends. When the doors to the street are closed, well, it's talking about hearing, our ears. And the sound of grinding fades. When men rise up at the sound of birds, but all their songs grow faint. One rises at the voice. They can't sleep well anymore. Sleep begins to evade the elderly sometimes. And although they get up at the crack of dawn, yet their infirmities prevent them from really enjoying it. Friends, a life apart from God tends to be like this. When men are afraid of heights and of dangers in the street, a big fear of the aged is falling. And the grasshopper drags himself along. This is talking about the burden, losing weight, losing health, different things like that. It says here, when the almond tree blossoms. That's talking about the graying hair, my friends. And desire is no longer stirred. Well, that's sexual desire, dear friends. The winding down of life. Then man goes to his eternal home, and mourners go about the streets. Verse 6, remember him before the silver cord is severed. That probably means the organs, the digestion, or the golden bowl is broken, the lungs. Before the pitcher is shattered at the spring. This is loss of reasoning. This is loss of being able to remember things. And the dust, verse 7, returns to the ground it came from. Friends, our bodies are dust. They are. They're made out of the same thing that this earth is made out of. And the spirit returns to God who gave it. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Everything is meaningless. My friends, when you only view the journey of life and not the eternal destination, not the eternal purpose in your life, like God said, I know the plans I have for you, then life gets pretty melancholy and pretty meaningless. Apart from the purpose of God in your life, my friends, eventually you'll come to the same conclusion that Solomon was coming to here. Meaningless, meaningless. He began the book by saying, vanity, vanity. Foolishness. Life is just foolish. Well, friends, let me share just a couple thoughts here with you concerning the winding down of life. The winding down of the natural life is essential for us. Why? Because God wouldn't want us to live like this in eternity. We weren't designed to be failing, dying creatures. We were designed perfect and complete in the image of God. Man fell, and all this dying and aging and getting sick and all these things came upon mankind. It helps us, the winding down of life, to realize and uphold in our existence the eternal, unchanging person of God. And He wants to restore us just like that. Man was never created to be in a state, condition, or position that would be any way unlike or opposed to God's eternal nature. That's why. Now, I'm going to end this with something so very positive. We're going to look at something quickly here that Paul said in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 51 through 55. Let's go there. Chapter 15, verses 51 through 55. Listen, Paul said here, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed. Oh, glorified. In a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, friends. And we will be changed. For the perishable must clothe itself with the imperishable, and the mortal with immortality. When the perishable has been clothed with the imperishable, and the mortal with immortality, then the saying that is written will come true. Death has been swallowed up in victory. Where, O death, is your victory? Where, O death, is your sting? Dear friends, that is God's eternal plan for the ages. The winding down of life is essential, so we can be glorified and remade just like the potter remakes a piece of clay on his potter's wheel when it's not quite right. He's doing that through our lives. The aging process is essential. Death is essential. Something has to die in human existence before it can live again. Dear friends, do you have Jesus? Do you know Jesus? If not, please watch our very first upload called Lessons on Salvation. I'll tell you exactly how to come to Jesus in that. Well, goodbye for now. Thank you for watching. Please contact us. If we can help you in any way, we'd love to hear from you. For now, this is Chaplain Don saying goodbye and God bless.